A woman arrives in the car park of her local convenience store. She parks near a white van, noting at the time that the van had tinted windows. She walks past the occupant of the van, a man roughly in his 30s and sporting a mustache. Upon exiting the store, the woman returns to her car. She walks past the spot where the van had been parked and noticed something on the ground. As she drew closer, she realized it was a photograph. She picked up the photograph, and what she saw horrified her. Nine months before the discovery of the photograph, some 1,500 miles away, young 19-year-old Tara Calico left her home to go on her daily bike ride. She would ride along New Mexico State Route 47, taking the same route each time. Her mother Patty would often join her, but due to a growing trend of aggressive drivers intentionally veering close to them, decided not to go so often. She repeatedly recommended her daughter take mace with her in case of an emergency, but Tara declined. Before Tara left on this day, she jokingly told her mother to come looking for her if she didn't return by 12:30, as she had a date with her boyfriend. Unfortunately, this is exactly what would happen. 12:30 arrived, and Tara was yet to return from her ride. Patty hopped in her car and drove up and down Tara's route in the hopes of finding her, but there was no sign of her. She then contacted the police. Some 9 months after Tara's disappearance, news broke of a photo a woman had found in a car park. The photo featured a teenage girl and a young boy laying on some pillows and sheets. Their mouths were duct taped and their hands appeared to be bound. When Tara's mother first saw this photo, she was skeptical if it could in fact be her own daughter, but the more she looked at the photo, the more convinced she was that it was her. The girl in the picture had a scar on her thigh, just like Tara. She had gotten in a car accident when she was younger. Plus, a book written by author V.C. Andrews was situated next to Tara. This was one of her favorite authors. A family came forward, believing their missing son was the boy in the photograph. He had gone missing on a hunting trip in April 1988. Sadly, the boy's remains would be found just 7 miles from the family's camping ground. He had died from exposure, confirming that he had gotten himself lost and passed away long before the photo had been taken. In 2008, the sheriff of Valencia County, New Mexico, went on record and stated he believes he knows what happened to Tara. He theorized that 2 teenagers were following Tara on that fateful day and had accidentally hit her with his truck. In a panic, they got rid of all the evidence. He claims he knows who was responsible, but could not bring in a conviction due to lack of evidence. Tara's father, John, was upset with this statement, saying that there was no point coming out with this story if no arrest could be made. 30 years on, and Tara's case is unfortunately still unsolved. Some further images were discovered over the years, which Tara's mother has both credited and discredited, but it hasn't led them any closer to finding out what happened to Tara. If you have any information surrounding this case, please contact your local authorities. Hopefully one day Tara can be found and brought home to her parents.